girl.
Let's talk about it.
So,
Mhm.
so first to y'all, we're gonna talk about something different. Plan to talk about faith and stuff. But I text her. No, I did Marco Polo with her, and I was like, we need to talk about this.
We need to talk about it.
So, if you read the caption, the title, you already know.
You already know.
So, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, this is definitely a controversial conversation, and we're definitely not afraid to have the conversation. I think this really is a taboo subject when it comes to politics and Christianity or politics in church. And I think that we're not afraid to talk about it. She was like, "Are you okay with talking about it?"
I had to make sure because you can know somebody, but when it comes to politics,
yeah, you'll lose a friendship.
Like they can know you for 30 years, and then as soon as you say
about politics. But I definitely think it's definitely a conversation that should be had, especially like amongst believers. So yeah,
and so I think the reason I wanted to talk about it because from a duty, like I feel like us as Christians have a responsibility and a duty to, like, I don't know, give the right information and give people knowledge. So for this political race, it's like give input, and like if you're struggling with who to vote for, because let's be honest, I don't like the choices.
Me either. Neither one.
I'm like, all these people.
Yeah.
And this, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't really like the choices, or you do. Some people, some people are like 100% towards whoever, and then you have the policies to go off of.
Yep.
And it's like, dang, I'm stuck on this too from a Christian viewpoint. So that's why I wanted to.
Let me ask you this: why do you think it's a taboo subject within the Christian community or within believers?
I hate to say it, but we soft. Like Christians.
Yeah.
Like Jesus over there turning tables, and we over here like, I want people to like me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because I think when you start talking about things like this, right? People, you either popular with people or you're not. People just like, nah. Oh, so you voted for what?
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with you no more.
Somebody's gonna hate you on something.
Yeah, in some facet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw this comment on YouTube. It was under a video like giving they're just giving info about like helping people decide who to vote for, and this lady was like, I used to think all supporters of this person were racist. Like anybody who voted for this person were racist.
Yeah.
And she was like, I went to one of the rallies, and she was like, they were some of the nicest people. And I say that to say, like, I hate how we lump people who vote for this person or this person, and it's like lump them all in one group. It's like, oh, you're all racist, or oh, you're all this, like you support abortion fully. It's like, sometimes you just got to pick and choose what you like.
Which one is the lesser evil?
And I hate that we're like, we've come to that. So
it's like you can't help who's running, right? The only thing that you can do is go off based according to scripture and
your
convictions, right? And so it's like you can't pick and choose who is.
Yeah. And when I say your convictions, it's like the Bible. I mean, it's just one way. So if you call yourself a Christian and you do hear from Christ through the Bible, it's like whatever he says, like whatever the conviction is, like in the Bible, it's like no to this, that should be your.
I mean, because
just
that's
plainly
as believers. I mean, that's pretty much how we live our lives according to scripture, according to the word of God. That's where we get our convictions from. So, yeah.
All right. So I wanted to basically just go in about like the spiritual, I guess it would be warfare that I guess Christians are having, trying to decide which politician to vote for. So the issues that I wanted to talk about, and this is to help people kind of make a decision who they want to go for. This isn't a bias, like we want you to choose this person. This is it's just putting it out there.
Yeah. And I think we're pretty much speaking to those who are sons and daughters of the Most High.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because outside of that, people pick and choose and do what they want to do. Because, you know, they really don't have any, I guess they don't necessarily have convictions. I'm sure they do, but, you know, not according to
it's just your own personal.
Yeah, your own personal.
More, I wouldn't say morals, but your own personal convictions instead of what Christ has caused us. Because some things he calls us to do, I'll be like, I don't feel convicted. No, right? I shouldn't. Right? But you know, that's another story.
Yeah.
And I found a few articles, but first, let's talk about the immigration. How do you feel we handle immigration now? Like, not under Biden, not under Trump, or I call her Kay Harris because I can never say her name right. And I don't want to disrespect somebody's name. I hate when somebody get my name wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Kay Harris.
Yeah.
I say it wrong.
I'm going to say this, right? I believe that as believers, we're called to be helpers one to another. However, I do have my own personal views on that. Especially when it comes to, so I believe, right, and they call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever they want to call me.
I am.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely called to be helpers one to another. However, we have people in America who have struggled for many years, right, and
just looking at my hands, you know.
Have struggled for many years, and we can't get ahead. We can't do anything. We can't, you know, nothing is really freely given to us, right? But those who come from other countries, right, they come in automatically able to get loans. They come in automatically able to get all the many different things that we have literally fought to get, and we never can get because of.
It's my belief. It's to get another group to vote for. This is what I feel like, to vote for the Democrats. Like how the Democrats back then, they got us as a people to rally behind them, and then now it's like, oh, we can get all these extra people that depend on us. That's the thing. The government wants you to depend on them.
Absolutely.
I feel, of course, like, I have no issue with immigrants.
Absolutely.
It's like, but at the same time, there is a way to do things.
Yeah.
And the way that we have for them to come into America, like USA, is like, maybe the system needs to be better, like expedited or whatever. Because I hear it's a very long time. Like, I have no problem saying it. I'm sure it can be a lot better for them to be able to become a citizen. And because any other country, you have to do certain things to get to live there and to become a citizen. Why can't we?
Absolutely.
We have resources that we need to. We have people who rely on resources that's here. Who are citizens already. But
I agree with you 100%. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that.
It's like there's a process, and the process, like, it's the government. So sure, the process can be much better.
Much better.
And so I mean, I don't think I want to see when Trump says, what did he say? He wants to do a mass, like, deportation. Like, exactly what does that look like?
What does that entail? Yeah. What does that entail?
And Kay Harris, like I say, I'm gonna call her that. I don't really know what I know she wants to keep the wall and all that, but I really don't know more.
Right.
So from both of them, I need to know more.
Honestly, let me just put this out there. I have not seen Kay Harris until it's election time. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
I forgot all about her. I'm gonna be one.
I'm telling you, the government. I never, and you know me, like, I don't play the race card or anything, but I do feel like they put her in there just like, here, here's the black vote. Y'all got her, but we're just gonna keep her in the back. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, exactly. she doesn't help herself.
Absolutely, they did that with another president of ours.
and I yeah.
So I'll just say that I think, and like me, you were talking before, I think that a lot of people are starting to wake up. So for me, right, and for our people, we have always been taught to vote a certain kind of way until you start waking up saying, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What has this particular party really done, if I could just be honest, for our people? You know what I mean?
And what the government in general.
Yeah.
Like, I never call myself a Republican or a Democrat. It's like I'm voting for the person that I agree with spiritually and with their policies. So I never agreed with, just because I'm black, I vote Democrat.
Yeah.
Or just because whatever, I vote Republican.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But I do know it's a lot of our people who just blindly
vote
blindly,
because this is what's been taught to us down through the years. But sometimes we don't even really do our history about what the parties actually.
It's like, why are all our people voting for them in the first place? But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. And I think that, but now that I'm starting to like look on social media, TikTok, a lot of people are starting to wake up.
They're doing their research on each candidate.
Yep.
And that's what I love.
Yeah. Because I think people are really tired of the lies that have been pushed, right? And I think we've been lied to so much. And we have had this hope that, they say they're going to do this. They say they're going to do this. They say they're going to do this. And for so many years, we've been lied to. And they never come through with any of the promises that they promised. And so now people are just like, you know what? I appreciate my ancestors and what they did and my family and how they taught us. But let me research this stuff out for myself. Because now, I think with our generation, we have more information now. And it's just like, we're not going to do this just
because you should be researching all this.
Yeah, we're not going to do this just because y'all say we should do this anymore.
And I think that's what our ancestors fought for, the right to vote. It's like, we get the chance to give our input and not just blindly follow. Do you think?
I think I know where you're going.
well, I don't know. Do you think it's an insult to not vote as a black person?
Oh, okay. It went a little different.
Because of the struggle?
I say yes. I say yes and no in a sense. Mainly leading towards yes. I mean, because even if you don't vote for those candidates, there's still other people that you can vote for. You get what I'm saying? And so it's like, I get that our ancestors, they bled, they fought, they went through turmoil just for us to be able to vote. And I think that we do it injustice when we don't.
So somebody told me, he was like, they fought for the option.
Well, for us that is true too.
And I was like, I guess. Yeah. But I feel like, even though, like you said, you're a conspiracy, I'm a conspiracy theorist. That our vote probably don't really count. But
that's why I thought you was going. That's why, because I was going to ask you, do you even think, right? Do you even think that our vote even matter?
I feel like it's very minuscule, and I feel like everything is already prescripted.
Thank you. I have been saying that for years. I think they already know who they're going to put in there, because what I tell people is, you have to realize that these people have an agenda.
Oh, it's a whole plan.
It's a whole, and it's been put in place for many years. Their forefathers put this stuff in place. And so how can all of the presidents, if you really be technical, how can they all be kin?
Look.
You know, so it's just like, for me, I'm just like, do our vote really even count?
Yeah. I honestly just do it because if it does count, it's like, I did it.
So, you know, as far as like, you know, you already know these people have an agenda. There's things that has to be fulfilled in that agenda. And so I think they pick and choose according to what agenda needs to be filled in that moment, or what needs to be filled in that 4-year, you know, period of presidency. Because there is an agenda. I truly believe that, you know.
I mean, it's the government. So,
it's the government, right? So let me ask you this. since we've already talked about, this previous topic, what do you think about abortions?
Abortion is like, you already know how I feel about it. Like it is murder. Yeah. You are killing another human being. Like the whole my body, my choice is literally not your body.
Yeah. Especially if you are a believer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not kill.
Yeah.
And God sees the value in life.
Right.
So I feel like we should too. And I honestly, so I feel the sympathy and love towards people, especially like if a kid gets pregnant by an older adult, by a sexual assault with anyone, or just any bad, like really extreme situation. Yeah. It's like, I feel like your head spinning. Like, I understand that. But at the same time, it's still not our right to get rid of another human. It's like when you kill someone that's pregnant, it's what, a double homicide.
Yeah,
you're killing two people.
For me, I totally agree. I believe that it is murder. However, I think the touchy part for me is like those. I think that has always kind of been my thing. Those who have been assaulted, right? Those who have been R word, because I think we can't say that word. Like, it's like you're still killing a innocent child that didn't ask to be here. But then I still understand the sympathy of it, because it's like you have to allow this child from trauma that you experienced to still grow and develop and become this full out human being. And it's like every single day, even if you say, for instance, choose to keep it, every single day you're reminded of the trauma and the R word, or the assault, and it's just kind of like, I think that's the thing that's kind of like, okay, God, like, how do you operate in that moment? Because you're still killing the innocent baby if you choose to say, okay, I'm getting rid of this. But then it's like, I have to sit here and still suffer with the consequences that
what happened to me. You're looking at what happened. I've heard stories as well that like some women who decide to keep the baby after a situation like that, is the baby, like it brought joy to a dark situation. Like they looked at it as joy, and even if those women who see the baby as, that person, like, and trust me, I feel like I would probably see that person all the time. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but it's, as a Christian, it's up to us to put our faith in God and believe He has a reason for everything. Yeah, it's not. It's hard. It's so many things in life we go through that's hard, and we literally just put our faith in God. Like I've had 4 miscarriages, and I'm looking like at God, like, so where is this going to get brighter? Like, when does your plan show? Like for all this,
right?
It's like, obviously I have 2 beautiful kids, but it's like, what was the reason for those 4? Like, when is that gonna? Let's hurry.
Gonna shine.
The reason for that.
The reason behind it. What is the purpose behind it? And I can understand. that too. Like, especially because, like I said, this is definitely geared toward the believer, right? And so it's like when we do look at situations and things like that, right? Okay, God, what is the plan behind this? Because, not saying that God allowed these things to happen. I mean, that he planned for these things to happen, but it was certainly allowed if you just put it in that sense, right? Not saying God out here like, you get it, you get it, what I'm saying? But because
it happened, we have free will to do things.
So it's like, okay, so where does the plan You know, so but as a believer, we do know that there's a plan. But
it's extremely hard, and if I believe if we look at it as it's not our body, because it's such a selfish saying, my body, my choice. Like, no, you're literally responsible for this separate body, and going into that. So I know Trump, he doesn't. He reversed Roe v. Wade, like that was under him,
right?
And Harris wants to bring it back, and that's abortion up to 22 weeks, I believe.
That's a full, almost.
That's exactly. And so I have a stat. It's been more than 1 million abortions in 2023 in the U.S. alone. And so I wasn't going to go like too deep and like give my opinion on abortions and stuff and just keep it in the middle, neutral. Yeah. But I do feel like it's my responsibility, since we are gearing it towards Christians. Like, do you know how an abortion happens? Like, what happens during the abortion?
You know, I have never really been, I've heard bits and pieces, but I've never really been privy on like exactly what and how it happens. I do know there are several people that I know that have had them like previously before they received Christ and all these many different things. And I know that whatever happens or whatever takes place, I know that it still has a lasting effect on them to this day, because it's like emotionally, mentally, it's literally like it weighs heavy. Yeah. So it's like, but as far as like what happens with abortions, I have never just really, I guess, studied on it. I know it's probably traumatic, and I think that's the reason why I don't necessarily just kind of like study up on it.
Want to look into it. No, it's very traumatic. Like, so disclaimer, I am going to go into detail about what happened. So if it's a trigger for you, just a disclaimer. So they have two: a medical abortion and just a normal abortion where they go in. And so with the alternative abortion, they go in, they're literally pulling apart the baby's limbs. Okay, so I heard this one doctor, she said, in this, her words, she tries to get the head first, because if she gets the head last, she's like, the head is like bouncing around. She's trying to locate it. And she said it like, this is one that has stopped doing abortions because she's seen like Christ help, open her eyes. That's how plain as she put it. Like, to her, that was just the routine. Get the head first. That way it's not moving around and, in the womb.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, they're separating the baby. And I do want to put some pictures up of like a 10-week baby, the 22-week baby. And they don't tell you how this stuff happens because of reactions like that. Like, to look at pictures, like I have to turn away from it, but at the same time, it's necessary to know like this is what happens. And I wish they would tell people.
Yeah,
most women don't know.
Yeah,
it's gut wrenching. It's like picturing your own child in pieces. Like, they have to count the body parts and make sure they got all of it, because you can end up getting an infection if you don't. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and the other one is a medical one, and you just take a pill, 2 pills, and I think you can get that up to, I think it's at 12 weeks. Yeah, up to 12 weeks. And we'll put a picture of a baby that's 12 weeks. It's formed, like so.
Oh my God. Like, yeah. And I figured, that it was probably very graphic.
Yeah.
Because I've heard people say that when they got on the table to have an abortion and they found out all the stuff that was going to happen, it was like, no, Like,
so they told them, like they actually told them
what was like what was getting ready to happen. It's just like, oh no.
Oh, I've seen like some, they don't even let them know the process. That's what I'm saying. Some women don't even know.
Yeah, I've seen testimonials of women. Like, I was literally on the table, and it was just like, no, like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna go through this.
If women knew the process, like they literally put the babies out to trash. They some put them in the freezer for pickup for like disposal, and some are basically in the trash.
Oh my god.
And I know Harris, like how she puts out women having miscarriages won't be treated because doctors are scared. Like if it's under Trump, doctors are scared they're going to go to jail for treating abortions. A miscarriage is not an abortion.
Yeah,
the baby is already gone. Like I've had 4, and for 2 of them, I've sat outside of the ER for hours. I don't know if you ever been to the ER for a visit, but I sat out there for hours, bleeding, in pain, you're delivering a baby, no matter how small. And it's like, ooh, I did that anyways. We were under freaking Biden and Harris, and it's so
it's almost kind of like, in a sense, excuses.
It's
do you believe
scare tactics,
yeah,
because like I didn't want to do the I wanted to stay neutral, like we're not talking about to go for this person, but I did want to make clear, like the miscarriage thing, it's not an abortion. Like the way she talks about it is kind of insensitive. It's like, you're going to be bleeding out in the parking lot. We already doing that with our system. No one asked me, oh, how bad is your pain? Like, because it could have been something deadly to me.
Absolutely.
But that wasn't asked. Me and my husband sitting outside. Literally, I think it took about 4 or 5 hours before we were seen. And I'm out there, like, in pain, like labor pains and bleeding. Like, so that's one thing I don't.
Oh my gosh.
The scare tactic for that.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
And so, yeah, in U.S., like, did I say over 1 million abortions?
Yeah.
And most of them are from us. Us.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I feel like it's a tactic to control the numbers on that, but that's just my conspiracy.
Look, I'm with you.
Yeah. So so that's their point. We already know how Trump, he was president already, so he did his thing with that, and she stated multiple times how she wants to bring it back. So that's her viewpoint on that. I just feel like as Christians, you have to think about what Christ would want with that situation.
Absolutely. And then for me too, I'm a person who also believes in like the whole spiritual aspect of things. And when you go spiritually, right, there's a spirit, and I don't know if we can play this song with that they used to shed the blood of innocent children to worship. And so even when you just kind of think on things like that, it's just like, okay, so when we do have these abortions, we're literally feeding into this spirit.
I wouldn't be surprised. So what is like spirit as in like demon? So more clarify on that.
It's called Molech. And it used to be Molech worship, right? And they would shed the innocent blood of children to this deity. So when you think about like the shedding of blood and all that other stuff, Molech worship.
I never heard of that.
It cuts off the life cycle, right? And if God is the one who gives life, right, then why are we shedding innocent blood?
Like I say, it's not our right to take away the right of another human who has no voice, no say. That's so.
Yeah, that's a very touchy topic subject. That one right there, when you're talking about children, because I can't even imagine like if my sister, the way I love my niece and my nephew so much, I couldn't even imagine them not being in the world because my sister cut off their life.
Yeah.
Like they're literally like the joy of my entire existence, right? So I couldn't even imagine if I never got a chance to meet them because my sister said, hey, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to play.
And I have like, it's like goosebumps right now. Just thinking of the process. It's like, it's so inhumane and like, it's, I don't know.
It's deep. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one topic. It's like, I couldn't say neutral on.
Yeah.
So yeah. Child gender affirming. Get into it. Do you feel like, okay, so first, Trump, I know he hasn't stated specifically with the child one, but I know, I think under his presidency, he's voted against some transgender things. And I've never heard him say he was for like the things they've been letting in schools, like the books they've been letting in schools for children. But this stuff has happened under the Biden-Harris administration, like in Florida, letting same-sex books. And the one I've heard is an adult and a child.
Pedophilia.
Yeah, that in the kids' library for kids to read. And I was like, when did that become okay? But yeah.
It's a lot of things that they're fit to get ready to make okay. Like that is one of them. They're trying to push that pedophilia is actually a condition, and instead of just outright perversion and outright sick, and all those many things.
Yeah, which blows my mind that we're even at this, like at 2024, and this is
where we are.
With this, our kids, like, this is way off topic, but our kids are so under attack.
They are. They are. I believe it.
Yeah.
And I believe that the enemy has tried. He tries to get them much younger.
Yeah.
Because there's an agenda that he has to carry out, right? And if he can get them in the womb, number one,
that's the whole abortion thing.
Yeah, if he can get them in the womb, then he cuts off the plans of God.
Yeah.
So the whole child affirming is an absolute no. Number one, I feel like we're exposing our kids to much more than what they should be exposed to.
Anyways, and the internet is on that too.
Like, they're children.
Yeah.
They don't even have the conscious decision on what to pick as far as their school clothes. And you're telling them, hey, you want to be...
We're trusting you to tell us you're a boy or a girl. Yeah.
They don't even know how to pick vegetables and all this stuff. They can't eat candy all day long. And you're giving them the choice to choose whether or not, if they're a boy, they want to be a girl. Or if they're a girl, they want to be a boy.
They don't even know what it means to be.
They don't even...
what they were born as.
Yeah. They don't even know their own identity as of now. And you give them the choice as a child to choose whether or not they want to be opposite of what God has created them to be. I think as parents, and I don't know if you can tell I'm passionate about this.
I mean, it's fair.
As parents, we have literally those parents who, because my child would never come to me and say, well, I want to be, if he's a boy, I want to be a girl. I'm going straight into deliverance. I'm casting the devil out. Like,
and at that point too, it's like I said, they don't even know what it means to, because I have two boys. If he came up and said that, it's like, you don't even know what it means to be a boy. So it's my job to guide you up and be like, for me, honestly, I would be like, what is making you say that? Is it what you're watching? Is it, did someone say something to you? Because now teachers are allowed to talk to the kids without the parents' consent. And this is under this administration. And I say that so we can be like already know what Harris does stand for. Because like I said, Trump has been the president already, so we know what he stands for.
It's an absolute no for him, I think.
And this is all attacking our kids. But now they're trying to have it where Yes, that's what it was in Florida. They're trying to pass the bill where a child can get an abortion and the parents only get like a text notification. Like they don't even have to bring the parents in. That's what they're trying to pass.
Yeah. There is definitely a demonic agenda
against the kids.
It is. And I think outside of, because I know we can go political, right? Because, but I think we have to also dig deeper than this is a spiritual, because we're believers, right? This is a spiritual battle that we're in. The Bible talks about how we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers in high places, right? And so I think outside of just the political party, there's a demon agenda that is being pushed throughout this nation, throughout this entire world. And it is definitely for our children, because if they can get them at the youngest age that they can. Easy.
Their mind is not even fully formed.
Fully developed, right? And it's so sad. And the parents, it's like the ones who allow their children to make these decisions. I can't remember her name, but I seen this lady, all of her sons are dressed up like girls.
And there's a fear too, because some places parents are actually getting arrested for not affirming their child of what they think they are. And
it's so deep. It is so.
It goes more than just.
Yeah.
I don't want my child to kill themselves. I don't want no.
Yeah.
You're their spiritual guidance, and just you're raising them, guiding them to be a citizen, a good citizen in this world, like a person, an adult, and they depend on you, and you have these kids growing up. They're going to be worse off when they get older, especially since the gender affirming, you're changing their genitals, you're stopping their hormones or adding hormones. These kids are going to be so confused and even worse off than what you think they're going to do.
Yeah, they are so very, very confused.
Yeah,
so very, very confused. This is like really like a touchy topic, because I feel like people always want to say, "Well," and I was watching it today. God is a loving God, right? And I'm just going to take it for a moment. God, He loves us all. Absolutely. God does. He loves us. He loves every last one of us the absolute same, right? But there's still laws and principles that we have to abide by as being sons and daughters. And if you even look at scripture, right, it shows us the foundation and the structure in which God created mankind. And so I think it's the enemy's job to cut off the procreation of life, right? I just think because how can two men produce?
You can't. Yeah, that's
how can two women produce? So it falls. It shows you that it comes completely out of agreement with the plans of heaven, because marriage was institution. Heaven, or the kingdom, was the first institution of marriage.
We're His bride. We're Christ's bride. Like that's where it started.
Yeah.
It's the kid. The kids. It's we're supposed to be the ones guiding and taking care of and showing them right from wrong. But we've been so conditioned to believe like, oh, I can't go against this, or even now the government is like, they want to punish the parents for not affirming their child. It's like we have pushed God so far aside. And to me, honestly, this whole election is like a spiritual warfare for people. Because honestly, like I told you before this, it's like both parties are the people themselves I don't care for, and both policies I don't fully agree with all the policies. So that's why I have to pick what goes against Christ, what can I agree with as a Christian. It's just
I think honestly, I'm just it's gonna get worse.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. It says it in scriptures. I mean,
it's gonna get worse.
That's the scary part.
But
we know the end.
We know the end result, right?
Yeah.
But it's like we're looking at, like we were talking about pedophilia and all that stuff. Like, when did we move to the place that pedophilia
is a condition? It's just normal.
It's normal. It's okay.
It's like it's just another version of I'm transgender or I'm bi or whatever. I like kids. It's like
it's almost like it's normal.
Why is that? Yeah.
So
honestly, I would be mad if I was gay, transgender. I'd be mad, like, y'all putting them in our group. Like, what?
Yeah.
No, we don't like kids. Like, no.
It's really sad.
Yeah,
it's really sad, and it's like the kids suffering in.
It's all about the attack on the kids, and I really hope people can see that. So that's just wanted to give.
This is a touchy.
I feel like us as Christians, it has to be said, and I just feel like we're usually so weak on topics that are touchy. It's like, we can't speak about that. So I just feel like it's our job and
to speak up about it. It's
if really, you hate me, you hate me.
You hate me, you hate me.
It's Christ. Like,
it is.
We have to look past our skin color. We have to look past the orange faced man. So that's kind of what we wanted to share. We hope that
you make
just honestly don't vote off of skin color or the first Black woman president. It's like we owe ourselves and our kids, our grandkids, future generations more than just based off of race or the big mean guy. Like, come on, vote off of what you agree with, policies and your Christian beliefs if you're a Christian.
And I'm gonna say this, and then if you really do your research and then you really search scriptures, you might not necessarily agree with who's in office, but there is one party that aligns more with scriptural basis,
and they both are crap. But like you said, there's one leans towards that more than the other. And just do your research. That's all we're saying. Well, this was really. We're gonna have some friends after this, or no?
We probably won't. Sorry, friends, but I mean, it has to be said. I think, like you said, I think as believers, we're too timid sometimes.
Oh, we are, because everybody else saying what they want to say.
But when it comes to this, it's like we never really touched the subject. Which I really. It was tough, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, and I don't think just because you vote one way or the other that we have to stop being friends. I just think that it shows our differences and it shows, hey, where we stand.
And you honestly don't know. Half your friends vote. They can say one thing, but but that's another thing. All right, y'all. Share, follow us, all the things.
All the things. Just
it'll be on the screen.
It'll be on the screen.
It's heavy tonight.
It's heavy tonight, but it's all good. I'm good.
Yeah, it was good. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
We out, y'all.